Hi there, my name is Sebastian. I am the founder of Rollout Democracy, a consulting firm specialized in political campaign software. And we are doing our first live interview with one special client, which is European Movement. I have with me Alex Wilks, who is the digital officer at the European Movement UK. And yeah, glad to be here, glad to be live sharing this with our audience. We are from London. We are right now recording this from London. And the big thing we need to announce, I'll leave you the honor to tell us.
Well, thank you for introducing me, Seb. So we've just launched our new website. It's available at www.europeanmovement.co.uk. So we've been working on this for a few months now, and we've just built a whole new website, but it's also built on the Nation Builder platform, which means that for an organisation of our size, we can move in all of our people using like a CRM database, our website, but also our communications and our finances. So instead of having to expand and trying to control all of these databases from various different places, we can have it all siloed in one platform and allow us to expand and do our crucial campaign work a lot quicker.
Good. Yeah, great. So first question is, we're in the middle of a snap general election. What is the role of the European movement in during the 2017 general election?
Well, so during this unexpected general election, the European movement has decided to put together a key list of target seats that we want to see filled by pro-Remain MPs. So we've worked together with organisations including Open Britain and Britain for Europe to create a list of about 40 seats at the moment of MPs that are either under threat but are very pro-Remain, or seats where we've got very pro-Brexit MPs that we feel we can help unseat and basically hold Parliament to account. So we've created a small page you can get to it through our new website, and you can sign up there to find a seat in your local area and get involved with their campaign directly.
Good. Okay, great. Moving on to the more digital space. What is the digital content strategy of the European movement? What things are you doing right now?
So we're doing a couple of things. In terms of our general social media strategy, we want to build up the amount of information we're getting out. There's a lot of information in daily news articles showing what a bad thing Brexit is being for Britain, and showing the economic impact, the health impact, and so we want to make sure we're on top of those stories. We've been using our fantastic volunteers to actually find these stories because there's so much of it, and then putting together a social media strategy around that, so making sure we're slowly getting that news out. We also want to find those stories from people, people on the ground basically, and find out how Brexit is impacting them, or why they still support staying in the European Union. So we've launched a small campaign called #BrexitResistance. If you follow us on Facebook or Twitter, you should have seen a few of these stories out so far. We've basically asked people for their very personal stories about why Europe matters to them and why they're still continuing the fight. And if you find one of those, you can click on a link and submit your own stories. And down the line, we'll hopefully do a few videos around those as well. But we feel that this, the fight to remain in the European Union is going to be, one on a national scale, but also we need to find these personal stories and really connect with people emotionally.
You can really see that trend across different political parties and organizations that trying to create content that is quick and cheap to produce, and then that it really is personal. It feels that it is reaching out to the right people in the right way.
I think the biggest mistake we can make is to really just only focus on the national arguments and tell people that Brexit is a bad idea, but without actually showing how it's affecting individual people. Excellent. So I think, we really need to start expanding on that, and this Brexit resistance thing is just the beginning of it.
Good. And another key question that I always ask to many clients is, what do you see the growth in terms of social network platforms, Facebook, Twitter? There are like new platforms coming in. What's your view on that?
Well, my view is that I think in terms of the social platforms, and we look at the general election last time, the Labour Party focused very heavily on Twitter, the Tories focused very heavily on Facebook advertising, and the Facebook advertising strategy is the one that seemed to work bring the best results. Now, I think the reason for that is Facebook has the broadest demographic. If we look at the people who vote, Facebook tends to bring in the sort of older generation who have a higher propensity to vote, and therefore, we can reach that, the voters easily that way. And you can also, segment based on postcode data, so you can really get down to the local level and show exactly what difference you can make. So I think until we find a new platform that has the scope of Facebook, Facebook's going to be that tool. That said, there are platforms like Snapchat, which has obviously boomed a lot recently, but with a specific demographic. It tends to be the younger sort of people, and so political parties haven't really worked out how to grasp the best out of Snapchat yet. But I think if we look at where it has been good, it's been good for brands and it's been good for influencers, so very popular personalities, very similar to YouTube. So what I think might happen is that we'll see maybe some broader campaigns, stuff on voter registration, for example, that some organisations are doing, using influencers that already exist to reach their audience and say, guys, you can make a difference in this election, but you need to register to vote. And I think we'll see some more proactive stuff around younger voters and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can always see political parties trying to reach people, whichever the platform they are using.
Yeah.
Snapchat is where most young people are using it at the moment, and also they are the ones who we need most to register to vote. So
that's where the most potential is. I think it's been a perpetual problem for parties, and I think it's a matter of working out how we use it and who's delivering the message. I don't think parties will be directly advertising on Snapchat yet, but I think if they can find surrogates to do so, it might be able to have a better impact.
Okay. And along with that, what other trends are you observing specifically during this general election?
Well, during this general election, because it was called at such short notice, and maybe some of the political parties had started to prepare for it, but really didn't have enough time to put together a massive long-term strategy. What we've seen actually is, because there is an opposition to the Tory party, but it's not a very coalesced opposition, we've seen people pop up out of nowhere and basically work on these targeting strategies, we being one of them. Also, you see someone can create a list on Twitter saying, this is your constituency, this is how you vote to stop this party, and that can just blow up overnight, and then suddenly you've got a website out of it. So I actually think the influence of political parties has deteriorated in this specific election, and we've seen the ability of the internet to spread information at short notice and allow for some sort of campaign strategy to pop up out of nowhere.
And outside this, outside that, you can see a lot of collaboration, right, between different actors that were not particularly involved in the past. Tactical voting, pro-European forces on your side. So is that really new in British politics?
It's not new, but I just think it's become more important now than ever. Now that there seems to be this sentiment that there is an incumbent and there is no strong opposition to it, or at least no aligned opposition, but there can be if there is a strategic voting platform. And so we've seen a few platforms pop up, and like I said, we've tried to do one alongside Open Britain and Britain for Europe, because we feel like the more partners are involved, the better. But this big list with all 650 constituencies in, there's a sense of urgency, I think, to this campaign. I feel like we might see in a few years' time, the next general election, that's all dropped off. But I feel in this campaign, it's quite a unique time to be involved in a non-political party in a general election.
Indeed. Last but not least, what do you think is going to be new next year?
Next year, I think we're going to see these social platforms that we've got at the moment. I think they're going to continue existing and continue to be important. But at the same time, I kind of feel like the accessibility of them is going to be gone down to the local level. So we're going to see local political parties doing their own Facebook advertising, much like before you'd have large political parties doing their leafleting. And before, in the last general election, they do the broad social media campaign strategies. We're going to see those tools become available for local parties instead.
Okay, so it's been a pleasure to do this interview with you, Alex. Wish you good luck in the campaign, and well, we'll see what happens on June the 8th.
We certainly will. Thanks, Ed.
Bye, everyone.